One hears a lot about the common good lately. For what makes greater sense than to do right by the largest quantity of people? And if a small group is of much greater benefit than the whole, then is it not incumbent upon the advantage to surrender their gain for the benefit of the whole? Or is it also the case that if a small group threatens the whole, then they should be treated by whatever means necessary to protect the greater? If we must exile one person to protect 100, then is that not morally justified? Is it not moral to let one person die if it saves two? Yet, it is this very rationale that is a smokescreen for reality, the naked grab of power, the power over life. For the ultimate power of the state is that of the gun, the cudgel, and the jail. But those in power can only wield these weapons in the amount that the larger majority under them has patience for their use. Martin Luther King understood this concept, and when the average white American watched black peaceful protesters assaulted on the streets, their patience for the police baton waned. When the graphic reality of the war in Vietnam reached the general population, the will to perpetuate the war diminished. But those in power will use whatever means available to them to hold onto their power and to grow their power. And one of the greatest tools at their disposal is the common good, and whatever minority threatens that good. For the Soviets, it was the bourgeois and the kulaks. For the Nazis, it was the Jews. For the CCP, it was Falun Gong. We humans are still tribal by nature, and our toleration or even participation in violence increases greatly when we perceive a threat to our in-group. The concept of in-group and out-group has been maybe the single most effective tool for gaining and retaining power. Look at our own political parties. Few conservatives or liberals even like the majority of their own politicians. But the threat of the out-group is such that they will protect their own from all but the most egregious actions. And now we see a new in-group, out-group narrative, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. One follows the science, the other conspiracy theories. One cares for the common good, the other only for themselves. One is willing to put some freedoms aside to be a good citizen. The other stubbornly holds onto their individual liberties. One is smart, the other is dumb. Once the tribal identities begin to settle in, then the citizenry will gladly give the state whatever power necessary to bend the out-group to the in-group's will, closing businesses, limiting travel, dispersing protests, denying access to dying loved ones. We have gotten to the point where people celebrate the deaths of those in the outgroup as justified karma. All the meanwhile, small businesses are being boarded up, bread lines grow longer, and yet the stock market is at an all-time high, and our billionaires are richer than they've ever been in human history. The greatest transference of wealth in human history has gone on right under our noses, showing us the reality that the common good in the hands of the powerful always results in the very opposite. If someone ever tells you to surrender what is yours for the common good, then resist them with all your might, for common good is only a Trojan horse for their own best interests.